Hi, Abraham. I've come to draw a number of conclusions about law of attraction, and I was wondering if I could present them to you and hear what you're thinking about them. If I think about law of attraction, I'm thinking of something that either is or isn't. So either there is no law of attraction or there is. But if there is, it's not something you can turn off or something that can be there just a little bit, like being just a little bit pregnant or a little bit dead. It's complete.
Well, you can be a little dead.
Yeah, okay, I acknowledge that.
In other words, you can pinch yourself off a little bit from life.
Yeah, yeah.
But we get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We agree with that. Law of attraction is whether you know that it is or not.
Yes.
And you are offering vibrations whether you know that you are or not. And law of attraction is assembling the cooperative components to the vibration that you're offering. So while there is this powerful vortex of well-being that has been assembled by you and is revolving and spinning and drawing to itself on your behalf, there are all kinds of vortices of attraction going on around here. There are all kinds of them. And you can tell by the way you feel and by the way they manifest what one is active within you at the time.
Yeah, and that's then the second part. Because if I draw that conclusion and I see all those people around me that are all in their own vortex or not, and they're all getting that, what they want or what they energetically represent at that time.
Better said. There are a lot of people getting something very different than what they want, but it is, those are perfect words, what energetically they represent. Yes.
Yeah. So that means that everybody is representing something, and the universe is constantly doing its stuff for everybody at the same time to make sure that that person gets what he represents at that time.
Law of attraction is like a magnifying glass that is laid over everything and amplifies the vibration of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Law of attraction coordinates the vibrational frequencies and brings the frequencies together that are the same. Just like your transmitter and receiver on your radio. If you tune your radio to 101 FM, you're going to pick up the broadcasting from that.
Yeah. So that means that if it all comes together for everybody, that means that not a single flap of a butterfly or whatever everybody else is doing or whatever I am doing, it all influences the entire system that we're working in.
But here's where we're going to deviate a little bit from where you're going. Mm-hmm. Everyone is offering a vibration, and law of attraction is responding to the vibration and matching the like vibrations up. But those over there in that vortex of disconnection, in that vortex of resistance, even though they're adding to the whole, if you are in alignment with who you are, they're not adding to the whole of your manifestations. In other words, you get what is your vibrational offering, they get what is theirs. Yeah. And unless you make what they're doing your business by focusing on it and approving of it or disapproving of it, what they're doing won't be part of your mix, and you won't draw what they're doing into what's going on with you.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that I see this huge mechanism behind it that's making sure that everybody gets what he or she energetically represents at the same time.
It's the best description of what man has been calling free will for a very long time. You be, you observe or imagine or focus, and therefore offer a vibration. And then the things that correspond with that vibration are reflected in your experience. And from that reflection or manifestation, you now have the option of knowing more clearly, if you don't want it, what you do want, or if it's something that you do want, continuing to amplify that by focusing upon its positive aspects. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So have you come to the conclusion in all of this analysis that through all of this exposure to life, and through law of attraction's response, that there's a huge vortex of well-being that is culminated, that will feed generations and generations and generations and generations to come? Can you feel the amassing of the huge well-being and the response to that amassing by law of attraction and what it means for all that is coming next? And can you feel that as this vortex of well-being expands and becomes more, that more and more those who don't allow themselves to go with it feel the discord of it? So it sort of explains why the rich are richer and the poor are poorer and the well are weller and the sick are sicker. In other words, this magnificent contrast is causing everything to become more. And as everything becomes more, it plays with stronger fashion against each other, doesn't it? That's why these are the best of times. They are the worst of times and the best of times. And the reason they are the best of times is because they are the worst of times. Because the best of times is always born out of the worst of times, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so I draw the conclusion one step further, because what I see behind it is this enormous intelligence, source, God, the universe, whatever you might call it, that is steering everything at once. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that that source is one, that we are one, that we are all coming from that same source part. We're all fragments of it.
You could not have said it better, and we said it less good as we began today, saying that you are source energy and that you are powerful and eternal, and that then a part of that source energy is represented here in this physical body, but a small part of it. And that this small focus then causes you to ask, which causes you to add to this greater whole. And this greater whole then calls the rest of you forward. And when you go, you say, ah. When you go, you say, yes. And when you don't, you say, ow, in varying degrees. When life causes you to expand and you allow the expansion, it's blissful. And when you don't, it's less pleasant. And then you croak and you allow it.
Yeah.
Or you do a focus wheel and you allow it. Or you praise and you allow it. Or you meditate and you allow it. Or you appreciate and allow it. You look for positive aspects and allow it. You criticize and you don't. You blame and you don't. You hate and you don't. You love and you do. In other words, it's all about focusing into the hugeness of this expanding and expanded becoming. Esther says to Jerry occasionally, when she's out of the vortex and knows it, I think I'll just go get Abraham. I think you should live with them. And rarely does Jerry disagree. Because to interact with someone who not only knows their value but knows yours is really a nice experience, you see. We agree with everything you said, and you said it perfectly.
Thank you very much.